So now we're ready to take it to the next step and actually look at combined shapes or composite shapes. And to do that, please take a look at this mechanics potato chip here again. And notice that now we have a centroid location and centroid axes. And so the axes here are given with x prime and y prime. And they are completely removed from our randomly chosen coordinate origin, which also has an x-axis and a y-axis. And notice that the x-axis is parallel to the x-prime axis and the y-axis is parallel to the y-prime axis. And that's why we actually are talking here about the parallel axis theorem. Parallel axis theorem. So we want to discuss what effect now does it have if I remove the potato chip from a coordinate origin. So imagine that initially the x prime axis and the y prime axis lay on top of the x and the y axis here, but then we removed it along this line here, which is given with d. And so what you end up with is these distances that are twofold. Like for the area element dA here, it has a distance to the centroid of the potato chip, which is given with y prime or x prime. And then also it has a distance to the randomly chosen coordinate system, which is given with dy here. So let me explain that again. This coordinate system here is usually chosen by the engineer, depending on what's most convenient. But this coordinate system is defined by the potato chip. And because the potato chip defines this, every area element within the potato chip has two distances to this origin here, which one of them is y prime and one of them is dy. And so if I now apply my formula from before, then remember that my ix actually is equal to the area integral of that distance, right? But what is that distance now? It's actually y prime plus dy and then square the whole thing and dA. So now that I have that dA, let me look at that again, or let me explain that to you. Where's this coming from? The y prime is this value right here, whereas the dy is the value here. In fact, it's so important for us that I'm going to highlight them with colors. So the dy is this component, whereas the y prime is actually this component here. And notice again that we are, of course, squaring the distance. That's a requirement for the Ix. And now if I expand this formula, that's my next step now, just for you to see how we end up with all this. So now my Ix is actually the expansion of this entire formula. And that turns out to be the integral of the area of y prime squared dA. And then I have 2dA times the integration, the area integration of y prime dA. And I have the dy squared times the integration of dA. And that's an area element. And now we have effectively three components. Let me highlight those three components for you. So I have the first component here, I have the second component here, and I have my third component right here. Let's talk about these individually. So the first component is really nothing else than what you've seen before, just that we're using a prime in the y now. So this is really the moment of inertia of the individual shape. So this is the moment of inertia of individual shape. And remember that this is also about the centroid axis. About the centroid axis of individual shape. So this is what we actually have seen on the previous table. So this is from previous table. All right, now the second part actually turns out to be 0 because the x prime axis passes through the area centroid, right? So this is equal to 0. There's nothing to it, and that is because the x prime axis, that is this one here, passes through the centroid of the potato chip. So because the xy axis passes through centroid of individual shape. So I don't have to worry about that one. Last thing I have to worry about is what is this third component here in red. And what do we see? We see dy. And what is dy is the distance from the origin of the coordinate system to the centroid. And what is dA? dA is just the area element itself. So that I want to formulate as well. So this is includes dy, and of course dy here is squared, right? So is the distance between the centroid of the individual shape and the coordinate origin. And that is very important to understand, but please also keep in mind that this is squared, right? All right, so that's dy. And what is summation dA? The summation dA is also a component of this. So a dA is just total area of individual shape. And now we kind of have deciphered the entire thing. So let me rewrite it one more time for you with only the important components. Ix is equal to the area integral of y prime squared dA plus dy squared integration of the area dA. And that is technically an important formula. However, I'm going to make it easier for you because I will now move from infinite sum to finite sum, and then I believe it will make more sense for us. So the way we will write this formula in the future is actually such that Ix is the summation from I to n of Ix bar prime plus AI dy squared. And so all of that summed up because it depends on how many area elements I have. Let me decipher this for you and tell you where what is coming from. So the I bar x prime is really this component here. The dy squared component is right here. And then the area element is right there. So just for completeness reasons, we're going to highlight this so you know where it's coming from. And that is this. And this is also from table that I've shown you on the previous page. Then we have the area here. So here we have the area, individual area. And then last but not least, we have this component here, which is squared, which you find again here, which is the, I call that centroidal distance. Centroidal distances. but keep in mind, like this is just my short version of saying this. I will use this from here on, centroidal distances. What I really mean is the distance between the centroid of the individual shape and the coordinate origin. And that, of course, needs to be squared, as you see here. So this is the formula you ultimately want to remember from this lecture. So let me make sure that I highlight that for you. So this is a very important formula. In fact, that's why I gave you the entire lecture today. And I will also, of course, for completeness reasons, give you IY, which is equal to the sum of I to n for I bar y prime plus AI and then dx squared. Kind of the same formula as before, so you really only have to remember one formula in total, but again, both of them are important, so let's highlight those and let's make sure that you memorize them. Okay, so now we have everything we need really to understand the moment of inertia, except we haven't applied it. That will come in the following problems, but for now, for your convenience, so we talked about the parallel axis theorem, which comes from the fact that an area is often removed from the centroid location of an entire shape or from the origin of a coordinate system. And so we used the parallel axis theorem, which used these two distances, the y prime and dy, which you see here. And then we expanded the equation and we noticed that this must be 0 and that we really only left with these two components, where this one comes from the previous page from the table. And we just need to understand that we have to calculate an individual area and the centroidal distances. And you may already understand this, but how to apply this is, of course, due to lack of practice, a little bit complicated, but that's where we will now focus on. I want to next show you how do we actually use these formulas so that you can use them professionally to actually calculate the moment of inertia for any shape that will ever cross your way. But this is the part of the lecture that is all theory. We're done with that now, and I will see you for the example problems.